The things you need to know before hiring an SEO agency or a specialist so you can avoid the common disasters that I see or lack of general action and progress. Sadly, our industry is filled with agencies and people that are in this for the wrong reasons. They see it as a get-rich-quick scheme, and too often I see businesses locked into contracts where meaningless work is being done. So there's a 24-month or a 12-month contract for some sort of SEO work, but aside from fluffy reports that are simply screenshots of your Google Analytics or Google Search Console, which you can view yourself, there's actually no meaningful work being done. It's really sad to see this, but I see this every single day. And so maybe it might be best if I explain how an SEO agency works and how I would be picking an SEO agency, running one myself. Don't pick me, too busy, too overloaded. So first things first is a standard large agency that has an office environment, that has a big team. Now, once again, this is not all agencies. I'm sure there are lots out there that provide meaningful work. But the bigger the agency gets, the typical scenario looks something like this. There is a sales rep. The sales rep earns commission. He has a target. The boss that was once an SEO, was once on the tools, is now moved over to a fluffy senior position. He's completely disconnected from the cogs of the business, in other words, the brains that actually delivered some time ago, a long time ago. And so you have sales reps that sell the SEO. These are people that haven't logged into a WordPress website or haven't built a website. Mostly, I say mostly because I'm sure there are really good guys out there and girls that but the sales rep will make the sale, close the deal, and handball to a fulfillment team, a lot of the time overseas. Nothing wrong with that. I've got a team in Ukraine, I've got a team in the Philippines and a team in Romania. They provide incredible work, but their work is only as good as my standard operational procedure. In other words, things that I teach them, the strategies that I've implemented myself personally before it gets taught and scaled, right? And then what happens is the person that makes the sale is long gone onto the next sale, and you're stuck with possibly an account manager whose job is just to reply to a whole bunch of emails. They're disconnected from the ranking process as well. A lot of the time, it doesn't matter if it's a lawyer being pitched to a pizza shop, the tiered products are a lot of the time the same. It's wild that an injury lawyer or an accountant in a dense area will be quoted the same amount for SEO as a local pizza shop, right? So red flag number one, if you see a proposal that has these tiers, right, and the tiers look like they're generic, you've got to be asking questions. So hold on, so these tiers are for injury lawyers like me, or is this the standard pricing sheet that everyone else gets? Because it's like saying, okay, build me a house. Sweet, and they just start building. How big is the house? How tall is the house? Do you want it to be warm in winter? So many questions, right? When you ask for a quote for SEO and they send you a quote for SEO then and there on some sort of a pre-made PDF, there's your alarm bell straight away. The first question I'll be asking is, have you ever built a website yourself? Have you ever ranked a website yourself? Hopefully the kind of answers that you should be getting is, yes, I constantly toy with Google and I have my own websites that I'm progressing, I'm marinating, and you can hear the passion in their voice, right? That's what I hope that you land with somebody. Very rare you're going to have that though. So someone that's actually gone and registered their domains, paying for hosting, bought their own service, doing the ranking process. He's living and breathing the SEO process. So when he or she sells you the SEO service, they're going to be the ones responsible to deliver. So that's another thing. So try and find an agency that's at that sort of passion phase of their business where it's the 2 or 3 co-directors, seniors that are in the cogs, that are doing the active SEO. They might have a team, it might be overseas, that's fine, as long as the person that makes the sale is the one that's with you. Now I get it, that's not scalable, big business, I get it. But if for someone looking to hire and have SEO services done, that's what you want, okay? Because every single large agency that I've helped, that I provide services for, be it links, be it blogs, be it whatever, consulted to, advised, suffers from the same thing. They're delivering services, SEO services that worked 10, 15 years ago. Same shitty, crappy links, same shitty citations, blog mentions, social signals, same shitty 400-word blogs that never actually get indexed, right? The kind of crap that gets filtered out. In other words, what I'm saying is old things that used to work, but because the agency's grown and it's so difficult to rework the internal operational procedures, they're so late to react to Google's changes. That doesn't fly. And so what ends up happening is you end up sitting through a year contract, 2-year contract, and not much actually happens from their SEO work. What might happen during that time is your brand might be getting organic growth because you do a good service. When you do a good service, people will refer you, right? Word of mouth. So try speak to someone that is actively working on this SEO, right? Ask questions like, will I be dealing with you? Now, the next one is, and it's a big one, is find an agency that has a track record in that exact industry. Have you guys done work for other flower shops like me? Show me the work. You don't need to see private information, but show me proof of work that you guys are logged into this website, for example, that you're actively doing things. What are you actually doing? So while I've, for many years, have been a generalist, the reality is these days I only take on particular clients. So if you want to work with me and you're in like cosmetics, e-commerce, and you want to rank for lipstick and you want to rank for t-shirt, it's not something that I'm interested in. Now, there are a lot of specialists that are good with that kind of stuff. It's just the reality of the situation is, what are we going to rank for? Lipstick, and we're up against Maya and David Jones. So a nice little segue is, before you hire an SEO specialist, understand what it is that you actually want to show up for, and if it's realistic. Now, I understand that you might not know anything about SEO, but you don't need to be a genius to type in the term that you want to rank for. Let's say it's lipstick. Let's say it's t-shirt or swimwear. You type that into Google and just have a flick through the top 10 sites. You're going to have Maya, David Jones. You're going to have Vogue, monster sites. We're not going to rank for that. Nobody's going to rank you for that. It's just, I'm not saying it's not possible. Challenge accepted. However, to be devil's advocate, a long tail term like, you're not going to rank for swimwear, but you might rank for ethically created swimwear, had less traffic, or what was it? I forget the keyword. Essentially a long tail variation of that key term. So it had less traffic and it was actually rankable because there were no big boys going for that. I remember a couple of years ago in the garage storage solutions, we ranked, and we still do quite well, but unfortunately the likes of IKEA, Bunnings started targeting those key terms. So they went after key term that doesn't get as much volume. So find an agency that has a track record in your niche. Get them to prove it somehow. They don't need to show private information, but it's pretty clear when someone shows you ranking increases and movements, and more importantly, what did they actually do to achieve it? The next one is, and this is huge, is a lot of agencies will blindly sell SEO and then do not much because they've logged into your website and they don't know how to edit things. They don't know how to custom code. How you going?
Hey, mate. Go ahead.
They don't know how to adjust the header, text, scripts, footer. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, a lot of the time the SEO agency has no experience in that CMS that you use to build your site. So I personally think that it's unethical to actually sell the SEO without logging into the website, without inspecting the tools, because SEO is like constructing a house, right? You need to have full access to everything to be able to adjust what you need to adjust. We need to add pages, we need to add things to the site, we need to change permalink structure, right? Because the agency didn't build the site from the ground up, the poor guy that's logging into the site will have no idea how to do basic things. So what they're going to do is they're just going to put it in the too hard basket and not do those things. Sure, they might throw back at you that, hey, send this to your developer, but you might not have a developer. You might not have anyone to do it. You may have been a DIY site built by you. So it's like they're taking over a DIY site and then performing some sort of an SEO service. It's fucking wild. These days, I decline sites that I don't build from the ground up unless there is a dedicated in-house development team or a marketing team that actually is on board with these edits. Very important. Because if I give a list of 100 URLs that we need SEO titles and meta descriptions, and if I give a list of 500 images that are missing alt text, a lot of the time they're like, this is not our job, we don't want to do it. And then it doesn't get done, right? And then I end up pausing the campaign myself. So be mindful of someone that blindly pitches you SEO, gives you a price, and doesn't actually inspect the assets that they have to take over. Because just sending backlinks on their own without fixing on-page SEO issues, just adding pages without backlinks, it's like building a house, connecting the plumbing, but not actually building the second story, or activating the electricity, but not building foundations. All these things have to come together.